So, hello guys, welcome back to part 9 of biological basis of the behavior. So, in the last video, I have discussed about important neurotransmitters and how they play a role in human body. Today, now we'll try to discuss about endocrine system. Here, you need to understand one thing is that the integration of both control and chemical coordination both would actually result in formation of certain actions or certain behavior. So here we will be we talked about neurotransmitters, and now we will be talking about hormones. So how hormones would actually affect the body, how and how we actually utilize those hormones, and which tissue or which organ to the specific hormones are released, and what are their target target tissue, which, for example, let us take pituitary gland. So pituitary gland would release certain hormones which actually has target at different area or tissue itself. For example, ovaries. In the ovary, to get menstrual cycle, there are certain hormones which are released by pituitary gland are very essential to actually activate the pathways in the ovary. So it's a long distance communication. So when we have to integrate, or we have to match both the endocrine system with the nervous system to get a coordination between both the organ systems. So here one more distinction or one more difference is that, see, these chemical hormones which actually released in the particular source organ, to reach to the target organ, it may take hours, but response would be there. But unlike neurotransmitters, where they are present in presynaptic neuron to the postsynaptic neuron within the synaptic cleft, the exchange of the neurotransmitters and attachment to the receptors and nerve impulse conduction and a behavior output of behavior also seen very quickly comparatively endocrine system. But there are few exceptions for that matter. In endocrine system also there would be quick effects would be shown. For example, epinephrine. So which shows quick effects. So let's understand now what are the different organs are involved in hormone production, and what are their functions. So quickly, let us see. First of all, we'll try to understand what can be hormones. So what are hormones? So these are nothing but chemical compounds which can be peptides, they can be steroids, or they can be amino acid derivatives. Amino acid derivatives. So these peptides are protein molecules. For example, insulin. And we have steroid hormones. And we have peptide hormones. So they will be released in very tiny, very small quantities. So what are the roles of, what are the characteristics of hormones? They release in small quantities. So you need to remember that there would be a source organ, source, and hormone will be released. Let's say it's H, and it will be having target tissue or organ. Here try to understand one important aspect. Cell is a basic unit of life. Cells combine to form tissues of similar function. Similar tissues would form an organ. Similar organs put together forms organ system. So here now we are talking about nervous system as well as endocrine system. So here we are talking about endocrine system. So now if you see that this, for example, A is a source, B is a target. So from the source, the hormones would be released into the bloodstream, and they will be traveling down the bloodstream, and they will be reaching the target tissue or organ. Okay. For example, if menstrual cycle has to be begin, right, at the 14th day, there would be an ovulation, right? At that point of time, LS and FSH are high, which are released by A, that is nothing but pituitary gland. So once they are released, they act on target organ, that is nothing but ovary. So that the follicles which are there in the ovary will be matured and ovum will be released. So where is pituitary gland and where are ovaries? So it is like a ductless communication, a chemical coordination will be there, so that once 14th day the ovulation occurs, again certain changes occurs in the ovary itself. So in this way, this is one quite good example that we can think of. And of course, I will be trying to show what are the different endocrine glands and what they secrete. So in psychology perspective, how we can see is we need to understand the biology of these hormones. Then it would be very easy to understand the other aspects, how it's shaping the behavior as well. Right. So this is about a basic idea of hormones. So let's understand what are the different types of glands are there and what they actually do. So first one is endocrine glands, or they have specialized function. So we'll try to see each one. So first, that is pineal gland. Pineal gland. So at the base of the thalamus, you can see, so at this area, actually, you will find this pineal gland, very small one, which actually secretes melatonin. So melatonin is important for the regulation of circadian rhythms, like sleep cycles. It is circadian rhythms. So circadian rhythms. So it actually controlled by light and dark cycles, and even associated with seasonal affective disorders. So seasonal affective disorders. So here we need to understand one thing is that the imbalance in the brain or imbalance in the hormones would even cause stress and other aspects or certain behavior also. So imbalance in neurotransmitters causes certain type of diseases. So we have to know what are the different glands. So if you are a psychology student and if you haven't, if you're not much clear about the biological topics, so this is a right video for you guys.